The question here is this, maybe before I go on, how's your health right now? That there was a little bit of a scare to a huge number of us when we heard, and subsequently, again, media says that you have rebounded and you're strong. And how do you feel in terms of your health, actually?
Well, Isma, how do you feel about my health now?
Generally, you're very radiant, very positive, and I think we have great confidence. But maybe would you like to say, and maybe you should also tell us how health is so important to all of us now that you have experienced.
Well, I've experienced literally a life and death experience, and I must say that I've been very lucky if you are not religious, and very blessed if you are religious. And I'm very touched that I met so many different religious groups, including those in the interreligious organization. I was there at one event, and somebody said, one group came out to me and said, "Mr. Heng, we pray for you." And the second group said, "We also pray for you, and we also pray for you." So regardless of race, language, or religion, I've been blessed by so many different groups. And I'm very touched by the support that Singaporeans showed, because I had so many well-wishers, cards and flowers that were sent to me when I was hospitalized, that it was really, really very moving for me. Now, first of all, for me, it was an extremely, it was a close shave, because I collapsed at a cabinet meeting, and luckily in the cabinet we have some doctors. There were several doctors, and one of them, Dr. Janio, happened to be an expert in looking after babies in emergency. So he gave me very good first aid. The ambulance crew gave me extremely good support, and when I went to Tan Tock Seng, they were able to deal with me almost immediately, because it so happened that the surgeon was on duty and he has not gone home. And I recovered quite well. One of the things which our hospitals are doing a great job is that a group of them, because when you are in ICU and you're motionless for a number of days, your body starts to lose its function. The muscles wear off very quickly. You could hardly sit or walk, because the muscles, the nature of the body is such that if you don't use it, you lose it. And by the time I was awake, I recovered. I had a very bad lung infection, because I caught very vicious bacteria which was attacking my lungs, and my lungs was almost gone, And luckily, they said, "Well, you're lucky that your heart was able to take the medications, and glad that you were exercising." And at the end of it, I also managed to deal with the lung problem. And after that, I was not allowed to go out in the public place for almost a year, because they say if you catch a cold, you're going to be back in the hospital and it will be worse. So it is a real traumatic experience. Of course, the person who suffered the most was not me, was my wife, not knowing whether I'll be dead or alive. And she asked the doctor, what will happen to him? So we don't know, we can't tell. Right? First, whether he'll be dead or alive. Two, when he wakes up, whether he will change personality, whether he will recognize you. So it is really a traumatic experience. But I'm very touched by, first, the dedication of our medical team in our hospital, and two, the support of so many Singaporeans, and of course, my family is a great support. Now, after that, I asked my doctors, I said, am I at a particular risk? Why me? I've been exercising. So my doctor said, well, unfortunately, low risk does not mean no risk, right? And that was the tagline that we used when I was in the police force. Singapore is low crime, but doesn't mean it's completely no crime. Right? So you still got to take precautions. So my suggestion to everybody is that please take good care of your health. Don't work too hard. In fact, suggesting to Ismail just now. I say, you should, you have your productivity app, right? Maybe part of your productivity app, you should add in something like a Fitbit sort of thing and say, our property agents walk how many thousands of steps every day in order to close a sale. So you are also exercising while you are doing your sales. When you're taking clients to see your property, if you're taking a bus, drop one bus stop earlier and just walk. If you're driving, go find a parking space that is free parking and just walk. Yeah, so you save money and exercise at the same time. But seriously, I think we do need to take care of our diet. I eat less now, so I feel a lot healthier. I do more exercise practically every day if I, especially if I don't have night meetings. And just to make sure that you don't take health for granted. It's very easy to take things that are in our life for granted, whether it's our own health or our loved ones. So don't take things for granted. Just keep at it.
Thank you so much for sharing something very personal about